This is a Lasius Nigir ant queen, and she is alone and has no worker ants. But today this queen will have a giant kingdom. In this box is something very valuable and important for this ant. Oh look, it's 1,000 ant eggs. This is real gold. All these eggs are completely fresh and ready to be unpacked. So it's time to finally give this test tube with thousands of eggs to our ant queen. This will be the biggest experiment on the channel. The ant queen has never seen such a huge number of eggs. This will be an incredibly fast boost for her in the development of her giant ant empire. The ant queen only has a few cocoons that she has already developed. It will take her a couple of years to create a large colony. But now we will rewrite her entire history. We open this treasure and very carefully pour everything out onto the table near the ant. At first, I poured it out from both sides to show you the full scale and how many there are. Later, I very carefully moved them to one pile so that it would be much easier for the ant queen to take them to her nest. At first, when I opened the exit for the queen, she didn't react at all. But it was worth waiting a little and the queen smelled the fresh eggs. She immediately ran and took the first cocoons and pulled herself a nest. Then she started laying eggs at a great speed. She was incredibly shocked and amazed by where so many eggs came from, since she didn't order eggs for herself on the internet. And here are 1,000 fresh worker ants for free.
A few moments later. 2,000 years later.
But there were so many cocoons that she carried them day and night on a test tube. The next day I noticed a fly and an ant near the ant queen. Maybe they wanted to steal some eggs?
One eternity later. Yeah, boy.
Oh, finally the queen moved all the cocoons to her nest. But after a while, I saw in the test tube that she had already unpacked the first newborn workers at night. This means that very soon there will be 1,000 ants here. But there is no room at all, and the test tube is full, so I decided to move them all to the ant farm. I connect the test tube and the new house with a tube. And look, the first ants have already discovered a new territory for themselves. And in the near future they will all move there. I also poured a few more eggs into the arena that did not fit in the test tube. After some time in the morning, I saw that almost all the ants had already moved to the new house. I was shocked because it will be quite cramped for them here too, so they will not live here for long. There were still a few eggs left in the test tube, but the ant queen and most of the workers had already moved to a new house. So I decided not to waste time and just carefully poured the remaining eggs into the anthill. And now all the ants can live here in peace. It seems that the ants really like this new house for them. And the queen is very happy that she has 1,000 workers in one day. But they all need to be fed. So for the first time in their lives, they will see a cricket. And they are a little shocked because they do not know what kind of creature it is in their territory. Some ants began to get acquainted with the unknown object. And others found out about it and also decided to come closer. But still after some time, I noticed that the ants began to eat it and feed the queen and their eggs. In nature, the first worker ants can only hunt small flies and insects, since there are only 5 to 6 workers in the colony, and here there are a whole 1,000 of them. Then they dragged the cricket straight into their nest, and all together they enjoyed the delicious and fresh breakfast that they found in the arena. This is very good for them because I saw that the ant queen gave birth to another new package of small eggs. And now the ants have a lot of protein to continue to actively develop, and the queen gave birth to new eggs. Every day the ants became more and more numerous. They unpacked many more cocoons, and there were already many of them in the nest. So I decided to connect another arena for them, taking a small plastic box and some fresh yellow clay. I started pouring clay into this box. This will imitate good natural conditions for the ants, and they will have more space for their further development. Having leveled the clay a little, I cleaned all the walls of this box so that everything was perfectly clean, and also made a small hole to connect the ant nest with a tube. A few days have passed and almost all the ants have been unpacked. Immediately hundreds of ants began to explore new territories, and after a while I noticed that they were digging some mini tunnels in this clay. Later, when there were many ants in the arena, I put a huge sweet orange jelly for them. They immediately pounced on it, and hundreds of ants started eating this sweet and healthy snack. Since ants cannot live without syrup, they covered almost all the jelly with themselves and sat like that for a long time, until after a while I saw how they started digging new tunnels and covering the jelly with clay. Oh my god, they are really building a real ant hill here. But later, when I looked from the bottom of this box, I saw already big nests with many eggs in them. In just 1 week time, I managed to create a big colony of ants. And the experiment was successful. I think this colony will have a great future as the ant queen started to give birth to new eggs. Thank you for watching and supporting. See you soon.